Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the main event of the evening. This is Zoom Racing League. It's Division 2. We're in the land of fire tonight in the Baku, Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We got some of the most exciting, some of the best racers in the league, and I'm promising an absolute heater of a race. Moving on from that, though, it's the return of someone great. You know, potentially the best commentator there ever was. Donnie Three Putts, aka Buffalo Trace. He's back in the building. Buffalo, how are we doing tonight?
I'm feeling good, man. And first of all, you're absolutely spot on. 100% of everything you just said is correct. And I'm really looking forward to tonight, man. I like Baku. This is one of my favorite tracks. I wasn't able to race last night, but I'm looking forward to watching this be an action-packed D3 race. And I'm looking forward to seeing these guys around here try to, carry speed through Castle, make it through cleanly. I mean, tell you some of the guys I'm looking at are similar with raw pace, right? I'm looking at Thermo. Can he keep consistent pace throughout the entire race and dominate Baku? I'm looking at combined YouTuber, right? The Aussie. He's had not what past few races hasn't been as good, right? So I'm looking for him to see if he can carry some consistent pace throughout the whole race.
Absolutely. And, last week we saw Johannes. He was the fastest driver in all three divisions, and if he can continue that, then I don't know who can stop him. I've heard rumors that Thermo's.
Nobody.
I've heard rumors that Thermo is on a different level this week, but
Really?
yeah, so we'll find out.
I'm interested to see. Yeah, interested to see. But what was it like 2-3 weeks ago, OG, where like Johannes just like it clicked for him, and he's been on it. He looks unstoppable.
Yeah.
Right now. He does.
Yeah, last week it was like the peak of that, or what we think is the peak. Imagine it's not the peak and it's just even better this week. But yeah, I don't. He's just continually improving, and it's intense. And apparently, this quali session was a little too intense for Freddie Rosell, as he's already retired from the session.
Yeah, tough. He's had a tough season, Freddie. Here, so he'll start from the back. He may have done that voluntarily just to see if he can rest up for the race and finish. Because this is a pretty technical track, right? I mean, you do have a lot of long straights, right? Some good passing zones here, but Sector 2 especially, too, is pretty technical. And the 90-degree turns in Sector 1, a lot of guys are going to try to make moves there, and you have to be really careful not to nick a front wing.
Yeah, those 90-degree turns, it's a tight track. It's not as tight as Monaco, but, the way the corners are built, the way just the street is, there's not a lot of room for error. It's easy to just hit that front wing, and there goes your race.
Yeah, it's high stakes, and even when you think you can kind of take it easy in Sector 3, right? Like if you time that kink wrong, right, and you go too far outside, you could take a front wing, or you could just spin yourself out and end your race.
Yeah,
it's really, you do need attention to detail throughout the entire lap, and it's a long lap too. This is probably the longest lap on the calendar. Yeah,
I think the one like round 42. I think so. I'm not sure what Spa is. I can't remember, but they're definitely pretty dang close. I think Baku maybe a little bit more. I don't know, but Zebra Strike with the 38.9. We only saw two drivers in the 38s in Division 3, and we're already seeing one in the Williams at, mind you, hit into the 38s.
Yeah, before the track gets rubbered in, right? So that's encouraging. I'm on with Axelize right now. He had just finished up a 141.2, reserving for the Alfa Romeo. I'm hoping he finishes. I'm hoping him and Marino can finish the race selfishly to get points, because I know in D3 we had maybe 3 DNFs, but in D4, what was there, 9 finishers?
Oh,
OG, it was crazy.
9 finishers. It was real rough there, and these McLarens are going side by side, trying to get the toe Buzzgod was from his teammate, and it puts him 39 flat. He got the toe, but he needed a little bit more. An eruption, 38-1. Okay, dude. So that is your time to
Eruption's got
beat.
his big boy pants on the pad, and is casually just 7/10 ahead of the field right now.
This is a controller track, and so those guys that you may have struggled on controller at Monaco are definitely they're moving their what do they do? You rub your hands together. I feel like there's a saying for that, but they're definitely doing that here at Baku.
Yeah. A couple guys on mediums to get their first heaters out there. Will currently in P10, Thermo currently in P11, although that doesn't look like competitive lap. He'll go around again. And Bronson Stafford might be going out on mediums as well, and he might be on his heater now.
The mediums can definitely work, but there's such a high likelihood of a safety car, especially so early. I mean, we didn't see one in Division 3, which was absolutely baffling in my mind. But, we saw 4 plus a VSC in Division 4, and I'm thinking it's going to go more towards that than no safety cars here in Division 2.
Working on getting some telemetry information so we can take a look at the weather. I think, surprisingly, OG, I learned rain is not that uncommon at this track. I did a couple of practice Grand Prix and was actually 2 for 2 with rain. And in the Division E race, we had mixed conditions as well. So we might see something here.
Yeah, I mean, you notice those tracks, like, you really wouldn't think of it as a place where it would rain, and then you do a couple of GP practices and it rains. I'm trying to think. There was a surprising amount of rain when I was doing my Spain practice. I felt like it was raining every other time, and I just wasn't expecting that at all. But yeah, definitely a chance for rain and chaos. On board with the Haas of Guak, a newer driver for Haas. I think he's been here for a couple of weeks. Wild Furious. This is the second weekend. Guak hits the castle section. He's going in, goes a bit too fast.
He does have a little bit of damage there, yeah, Guak. He did nick his front wing. While we were chatting, OG, Thermo casually put up the second fastest time on medium tires.
Mediums.
1,000th of a second ahead of Zebra.
Yeah, and those are on the mediums. It'll be curious to see, will he get in the 37s on the softs? I don't know what the advantage is from mediums to softs, but I'm guessing it's going to be pretty great.
Yeah. The mediums do run nicely here. Typically on the alternate strategy, they were going to about lap 16 and then finishing off the last 10 on softs, and that was working pretty well. The alternate strategy was great for D3 because there were no safety cars.
And Guak, despite hitting the wall, puts up a 39.8, which is faster than Prison Mike, Axelize, Bronson, and Will Graham.
He did it with damage.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. His Cal goes P7. Johannes only in P6 at the moment. We're going to hop on board with Mr. Sandunga as he starts his first official lap.
The Alpha Tauri superstar.
Absolutely. This week it might be Eruption, but hoping to give him a run for his money.
Looks like a Burke may have went into the escape road here. Is it Bronson? Or no, it's not Bronson.
Is Johannes in the wall? Just looked like he was planted there.
Yeah, no damage. It looks like he did kind of just take the escape road kind of as it was designed. So he's clean. He may have been pulling out of the way for someone, actually.
This is such a crucial part. Tires screeching just a little bit. But he pulls through the castle section nicely.
Zebra is 2/10 up on his fastest lap, currently in P3, sitting behind Thermo, who set his time on medium tires, but he's got 7/10 to Eruption to even think about pole, so quite a bit to make up here at the end of Sector 2 and into Sector 3.
Still, it's great to see, even if he doesn't stay on that top 3, he's definitely going to stay in the top 7 range, I feel like, and someone we haven't seen much pace or performance out of them so far this season, the Williams team principal, and I'm glad he's finally arrived.
Yeah, this would be cool. This would be cool to see Williams here up in the fight. But I mean, anything can happen.
And he goes a
Not a
little
bad
bit
lap.
faster to jump Thermo 4 now.
And Sid jumps into the fray with a 38.9, currently in P4. We haven't seen a lot from Sid over the past few weeks, right? I feel like it's been quiet because of Johannes' dominance. And so we'll see. I'm not sure if this is a good track for him or not so much, but we'll see if he can compete with Johannes this week. I'd like to see it.
It's definitely a track, but yeah, he's had a couple of rough weeks so far. Big Mom Frank puts it P2, 38.7. But yeah, I mean, Sid had the disaster that was Spain, and then the Monaco fiasco as well. And so 2 races in a row where he didn't have the result he intended, and he's hoping to turn his fortune around here in Azerbaijan. Will Graham is a 10th up on his time, but he's going to need way more than that if he wants to be competitive. He's the only one in the 41s right now. Hoping to get a massive tow from his teammate Zebra. Will it be enough?
He could. We'll see. He's got a lot of time to make up. 1.6 seconds to Bronson Stafford in 18th.
Yeah, he's going to need quite a bit.
Well, they executed the tow perfectly.
He goes 40.4, so definitely a massive improvement.
It was.
But it just wasn't enough. And Prison Mike is 5/10 up, and he is not even finished with Sector 2 yet. So that'll put him in a really good position if he can continue this improvement throughout the rest of the lap.
He could be up to about P11 there. Keeps up that gap.
And we just missed it a little bit, but Johannes went P2, barely etching out Big Mama Frank. Johannes is at 38.7 right now. Oh, and the McLarens, they've been practicing this. This is the second time they're going to get this tow worked off, and I think that's going to be a big key in this qualifying. Only 5 minutes remaining, but, we've seen this McLaren team do it twice now to success. I mean, I think that's awesome to see.
Nice. Yeah, it takes a little bit of finesse to do that, right? And the timing of your outlaps.
And it got him to P11, just as you predicted.
Yeah, Marino is trying to get a tow off of the Ferrari of Davies, and it looks like he's doing it pretty successfully. He's currently in P16 with a 140.2. We'll see how he improves.
Starts.
Oh, my apologies. That was his outlap. So we got a boost going into turn 1.
And 2 reserves for the Alfa Romeo in Actualized and Marino.
It's not ideal. Not ideal. But these guys are great drivers, right? So if you're going to have a reserve type situation, I think Marino's always got a chance to be up at the front if he can keep it clean. And Axelized has always shown pace.
Yeah, when he's wanted to, he absolutely has. And, as you said, Marino had a terrible season in Division 3 last season. His best result came in a Division 2 race. And so you're hoping he puts on one of those weird Marino performances here in Division 2.
Yeah, sign me up. Surprised to see Bronson Stafford down there in P18 right now. He's currently in the pits. Only 3 minutes left. Oh, his Marino almost hits the wall. No damage. He's 6/10 up on his time. That could put him maybe P13, depending on how much time he can gain here.
Yeah, I mean, Because that bottom, I mean, everyone is so close right now
Yeah.
from P19 to P16.
6/10 and he goes P12.
There you go. See where his teammate actualized ends up. He's 2/10 or 2 seconds off. 2/10. And Eruption is on another hot lap right now.
Oh, baby. Joel Guran is finishing up his out lap 2. And I
Oh.
kind of want to give a shout out to him because you talk about overachieving team principles, man. This guy's got a middle to back type of team as far as draft order, and he has made 2 trades, and these guys are all overperforming. He just looks great this year.
Yeah, a little bit of conspiracy going on. His 2 trades, he got arguably, a top 3, top 4, top 5 driver in the division of the trade, and so, is there a little bit of favoritism going on? I have no idea, but it is a little suspect. As Eruption is 5/10 up.
Yeah, I mean, are you talking about Thermo?
Yes, Thermo and Ethan.
Oh, I mean, yeah, the Ethan for Beberto trade is interesting, but I think the Thermo one, both sides definitely agreed to it and wanted that to happen.
That's true.
It kind of just sounded like didn't work with Haas, which is a shame because if he stayed in 137.6 from Eruption, wow.
But Thermo is a second up on his time. He's going to need a little bit more. And Cal goes 38.5.
Good to see from Cal.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind
He'll
of
have to score a bunch of points with
one-man
Freddie
team right
down
now.
at the bottom.
Thermo goes 37.9 Eruption. That is an unreal time from him right now.
Man, these guys are quick.
Yes, it's ridiculous.
But Bronson has yet to set, I don't want to say yet to set a competitive time because compared to the average person, this is an incredible time. But, he's sitting there in the 140s where most everybody is in the 138s or 139s, which is really unlike Bronson, right? I mean, usually we see him at least closer to the middle.
Yeah, he's definitely closer to the middle most races, but he's never been a qualifier. He's always been more of a racer. But he's going to need to be even more of a racer. He wants to be competitive in this race. But, there's going to be chaos. There's going to be a lot going on. But still, you don't want to start what will be P20 as he's got a 5-place grid penalty.
So Johannes had broken his wing a little while ago. I'm not sure if he was able to get in and out. Start another lap as Bronson's invalidated. So he's going to be stuck in P18.
And Davies just invalidated as well. And Big Mama Frank was disqualified? What?
Yeah, I wonder if he was maybe trying to get out of the way of somebody and it kicked him out.
All right, we're gonna see maybe a little bit of chaos again. Last time someone was disqualified in the Red Bull, it got sorted out, lobby remade. Will that be the case again? Will they leave Big Mama Frank to revel in P20? I think that's everyone's lap. You have Eruption with a monstrous time of 137.6. Thermo, still head and shoulders above the rest, but he's 3/10 off. He's at 37.9. Cal in the Alpine made it P3. Sid P4. The Williams of Zebra Strike P5. Johannes only in P6. Joel Guron P7. Buzzcod, Mr. Sandunga 8-9. The Haas of Guac up into P10. And then the Ferraris 11 and 15. Davies 11. Spanini 15. Prison Mike a little bit off his teammate in P12. Wild Fury still great, P13 for a Haas. Marino actualized 14 and 17. Will Graham 16. Freddie will be starting P19. Big Mom Frank also starting 20. No, Fred will start P18 because Bronson has that penalty. But I mean, there's your grid. Those top two
Sure
guys
is.
are head and shoulders above the rest right now.
Yeah, they are. I'd really like to see Raz get in and finish this race. With Cal up in P3, this is about a good opportunity as they've gotten in the past few weeks to score a good amount of points, right? I mean, if this is an incident-prone type of Baku race, and Freddie can be clean and Cal can stay up in the top five-ish, it could be a huge haul for Alpine. And I think they need something like that.
They need, yeah, an injection in their arm or something.
Yeah.
But I will say, Fred in the paddock was saying, "Oh, he just said, don't worry, I won't die this race." But during that qualifying, he was asking if he could go to bed, and so it appears you have revitalized his spirits, inspired him, and motivated him to continue and complete the race. Buffalo Trace, I applaud you.
You're welcome. You're welcome, and look forward to seeing you out there.
And so we're putting this on Adam. Adam Klein, it's your call whether we restart the lobby or not.
Mr. McClure. Now, the last time this happened, wasn't he in the booth with us?
He was, and he
Yeah.
let them decide. So,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Maybe we want to see a. I think Ethan's got the right idea in the paddock. Maybe we need to see a Big Mama Frank recovery drive. Wouldn't that be fun? This track.
It would, but I got a feel for him. You know, he put in a lot of time this track. He had the pace. He had a
Yeah.
great pace this track, and you know to have to make a recovery drive before the races even started, it just sucks.
Right.
So that is gonna be. Yep. I don't believe we're starting. We're keeping the ball rolling. Uh, Big Mama Frank had. So Adam's in the chat right now. Big Mama Frank had some weird disqualification, and he started. He was in like P5, I believe, but so now we're here at the formation lap. It's still time. There's still time. Adam, you got about 2 minutes.
He's got to make the last minute call. We'll see if it happens.
Shut it down. Shut it down.
Roll on.
Roll
We're
on, baby.
On.
That's what I like to hear.
Let's go racing.
We go racing. Roll on, baby. Roll on.
Predicted pit strategy from AWS, of course, says the two-stop, which, of course, will not be the case. Standard small, medium, medium soft here. And, typically in a track like this, I would go with the standard strategy because an early safety car gives you a little bit more flexibility. But, we had Big Elbro reserving for Alfa Romeo in D3, and he went with the alternate strat. And it was a great call because D3 ran pretty clean, and he was able to get himself a top 10. So, see what the strategy looks like here.
Yeah, and I do gotta wonder how were his softs feeling there at the end. I saw he had at the fast chicane final lap nearly disastrous ending. He pulled it together, stayed in the top 10, but
it was nearly disastrous. I wonder, it may have just been a mistake on his part rather than the tires. I'm not sure. I gotta ask him, because he had a little bit of pace there. It was good. So I want to say the tires were fine. I don't know for sure, but he did have a moment.
But still a great qualifying, or not great qualifying, great finish from Big L Bro in that Alfa Romeo D3. And You're hoping that inspired your new reserves actualized in Marino. We're gonna have to do their damnedest, do their hardest to get inside that top 10.
Yeah, we'll see. Could be some carnage here in turn one. We'll see. I mean, I know they'll have to fight with Big Mama Frank in the back, too. He's going to be charging up the field.
Both of them, Big Mama Frank and Bronson, just gonna be tearing through, I believe. But it's gonna be interesting to see between Eruption and Thermo who gets the jump at the start. Cars are just lining up the final. Haas cutting through the field, getting in position. That's Guac, I believe.
I'll hop on with Sid here at the start, see if we can get a view of the carnage.
Two lights, three lights, four lights, five. And they're off. Thermo, I think it's a slightly better start than Eruption, but is it enough? He goes up the inside. Oh my, and so did Cal. Eruption had a terrible start. Cal is right to the upside. He's in P2 right now. Sid stayed in P4. Johannes, Zebra Strike down. Buzz got up. Zuck's down. And there's Chaos. I think that's a Williams. And that's Zebra Strike. After a great qualifying, he's already down into P20. Spanini making up 4 places. Johannes down 7 places. There's absolute chaos happening right now. And they're like 6 wide going into this. Freddie Rizal up into P13 right behind your boy Marino and Spanini.
Let's go. Great start from Freddie, by the way.
hits Freddie Rizal. He took him out, and Marino. We just cursed both of them.
Oh my god. What are we doing, OG?
I should have kept my mouth shut. That's on me.
What are we doing?
Will
Johannes
Graham, the Terminator.
has a little bit of wing damage.
And so both Williams, pretty bad mistakes so far, down in 17 and 18. Zebra Strike was in a phenomenal position, and he's all gone on lap 1.
I was on board with Sid, who got a little bit worse of a start than the top 3 guys, but was able to kind of witness Thermo's move and then Cal's move. But Eruption made himself a place back, so it's Thermo 1, Eruption 2, Cal 3, followed by Sid a little bit further back. But yeah, tough start for Johannes. He's in P12. I wonder if he's going to try to just get through with that really slight wing damage or what?
It depends. It's a hard call because the tires degrade so fast, so it's not a track where you can, at least I don't think it's a track where you can pit lap 1 and, continue on for the rest of the race.
Yeah,
but
the hard's terrible here.
I mean, we just saw that carnage. Everyone's still in the race for now, and he does go into pit. But still, everyone's in the race, so there's still equal chance for a safety car. People are going to be bunched up. And we're going to see how it goes as Guac is on the tail of Prison Mike. Davies got to run on Prison Mike as well. Davies, I believe, is not burning the he is burning the ERS to get past Prison Mike. Guac just watching him go, and Davies makes the move stick. May have touched the wall a bit. Prison Mike definitely did, and Guac is now on the inside of Prison Mike. He goes up. Does he make it stick?
Great move.
But now Prison Mike has the inside for this next corner. So Prison Mike, patient with his defense, prevails so far. He's got to make sure no one makes any moves in the castle section. We've already seen how poorly that goes, and Guac looks at it, decides against it.
Great battles here early on in Baku. I love Sector 1 is great for move. Just these 90-degree turns, right? A lot of these drivers can get pretty ballsy here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Prison Mike did a great job of doing exactly what you just said, right? Timing his defense. He knew he could be in a better position right before that chicane to approach Castle. Great moves.
Absolutely. And once DRS gets open here in this next lap, I think we're going to see a lot more overtakes than we've already seen. But just before we switch over from the position change, the biggest losers so far, Zebra Strike, Will, Marino, Johannes, and Fred. Everyone else has made up positions or kept their positions. Aside from Eruption, who's down 1. But, overall, 5 people down in the back, but still pretty clean compared to what we've seen so far.
Pretty clean so far. Definitely could have been worse, right? So Johannes is essentially on the alternate strat now, right? Right, he's got essentially fresh mediums here early. So we'll see if that one can pay off for him. Guac looks pacey here besides Prison Mike. I think we might be able to see something out of him today.
He's a quick little dude. And he's looking at Prison Mike. He's got the DRS. He doesn't have the lunge. He's going for traction on this corner. Does he get it? And that's BuzzGod spun around right before this little right-hander. He's going to go down up into P15 probably. And so now you got Bronson and Big Mama Frank, who survived the lap 1 carnage, up into P12 and P13. That's 8 positions in 3 laps.
Yeah. Really well done. BuzzGod finds himself in P18. His friend Johannes is going to be coming up here in a little bit. Oh, there's a little bit of a gap there. Freddy hanging around in the back. It looks like BuzzGod may have some wing damage, so I'm not sure. He'll probably come in. It looks significant enough.
And Sid, he's going to want to enter this thermal eruption fight, but he's already, quite a whiles back. Cal on the edge of DRS, or keeping Sid away from DRS. And Eruption has, or will have, the DRS and the slipstream. Will he even need the ERS? I doubt it. And we're looking at a potential 1-2 swap here. In lap 3, they go side by side. Eruption just has the straight line speed. The Thermal's going to have the DRS on this next straight.
I think these guys know what they're doing, and they're going to trade up and build up a gap to Cal.
Yeah. Eruption burning a little bit of ERS. He did a little bit just to get a boost out of there. Is Thermal going to go for a move here? He doesn't. He just looks at it, trying to pressure Eruption into making a mistake. Johannes puts up the fastest lap so far. Not saying much. We're only 4 laps in.
Only 4 laps in, but I'm watching Mr. Sandunga trying to put pressure on Davies here in the middle of Sector 1. Coming up to Castle a little bit. And between Mr. Sandunga and Eruption, you got to be pretty pleased with your standing here at lap 4.
So far, but Prison Mike and Guac, Guac is on the tail of Prison, and they collide a little bit in the castle section. I think Prison Mike had a slip up. It forced Guac maybe to make a mistake. We didn't get the whole thing, but I can't tell. Does Guac have wing damage? It does not appear so, but that gives Sandunga quite a bit of breathing room.
Yeah, Guac does not have wing damage. Prison Mike does, though, however. You saw he was ghosted for a little bit, so I'm wondering if Wild Fury on the alternate strat is going to be able to close that gap between Prison Mike. He's currently the lead medium tire runner.
Yeah, so, and Will Ram just hit the wall right there, and so it's a tough race, and he locks up right there. And Sandunga has a mistake as well. He's down, he's spun, just reset the track. I'm looking away. He won't get it on stream, not from me.
Ha.
And Sandunga down into P16, so Buffalo, I'm putting that one on you. And all those guys, not all of them, quite a bit of them, have pitted for new tires. And so now Guac and Wild Fury are up into P4, P5. Eruption and Thermal fighting each other down that DRS straight right there. Cal still in P3. But if they're pitting that early, I'm thinking they're going for a 2-stop probably.
Maybe. I don't know. 21 laps on the mediums will be hard, but I'll definitely take the blame for that because now my boy Marino is sitting in P9 right behind his teammate in Axelize. So first 5 laps, man, I think there's been so much shuffling around the order. This track is just so action-packed always. There's always action here. Will takes the hard tires, and we know they've been pretty difficult to run around here. So he won't be looking to stop anymore, but I'm wondering if he'll have any pace.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it feels like, you've already had quite a rough race. I don't know if going to the hards are really the smartest choice, but, it is what it is. That decision's already been made. So can't go back on it now. And Big Mama Frank, Bronson, Wild Fury, they all have DRS into this little DRS train, and the head of it is Guac. Cal really in no man's land right now. He's 5 seconds back off of Thermo and 5 seconds ahead of P4. And Thermo dives into the pits, so Eruption's going to have to come in. Oh, I really don't know.
Oh, another yellow in Sector 2. Is it an Alpine?
Is it an Alpine? Is it the Alpine of Freddie Rizal? Oh,
Maybe.
they're side by side with Will Graham right there. Fred maybe let him by. Maybe just had a little bit of a... And he touches the wall. I think both Will Graham and Fred touched the wall right there. I don't know if there's damage.
No damage from what I can see. Couple guys going to the pits. Cal
Oh.
goes in for the undercut. Guac goes in for the undercut. They're switching for medium tires to try to go 20 laps to the end.
Fred has quite a bit of damage. He just keeps hitting that wall. He's going to need a pit right now. He's going to need a pit for a new front wing. He almost took out the #1 British driver, Buzzgod. Maybe, he did that intentionally. I have no idea. But Eruption still leads. Wild Fury on the mediums. P2, Bronson and Big Mama Frank also leading the alternate, or following the alternate strat in P3 and P4. So Thermo P6, he's got some traffic. Will Eruption come out ahead of him?
Yeah, so I misspoke there. I thought Thermo did pit, so he was the first of the undercutters, I guess. So I'll be interested to see how much pace he can get and if he can build up a gap. He's got Marino behind him, but he's 4 seconds back, even on those soft tires. I think he'll be able to kick up. Axelize lets Thermo through for P5, which was probably the right call. Thermo naturally quicker, on the better tires. Axelize playing the long game. I like it.
And Sid got, I believe it was maybe just lucky pit stop as he jumps Cal in the pits. They're both in the exact same tire for the exact same lap, and Sid is now in P8 while Cal is in P9.
Wow, that's going to be a hell of a stint here. 19-20 laps on medium tires at Baku. Wild Fury finds himself in the lead of the race on the alternate strat. 6 laps in on his medium tires, holding off Bronson Stafford, what did he start?
P20.
Let's go to...
P20.
Wow.
And so did Big Mama Frank, and they're right behind him. Eruption, he fell victim to the undercut of Thermo. Thermo now has like 2 positions on him, a place between him. Big Mama Frank, P3, Actualized P5. Sid gets ahead of Marino right there.
Yep, that's the right call. I bet. Oh, as Marino spins and goes into the wall, he destroys his front wing. And I guess he lost it a bit on those soft tires, but he's tumbling down the order, and he's going to tumble longer because he's got 2 full sectors to get back to the pits, and he's just retired.
Wow.
That's
Got any words?
I mean, if you're gonna give up, don't reserve. Those are my words.
There you go.
Finish the race, dude. But I don't know what Marino's got going on. That's just a shame because he had pace, and look, he could have recovered. Bronson and Big Mama Frank started at the ass end, and they find themselves in P2 and P3 on a perfectly viable alternate strat. Finish the race. Sorry, my team principal coming out, and I'm getting a little salty. And it's not Marino's responsibility. He's a reserve. It's my responsibility. But if you agree to do it, do it.
Now you need Actualized to make up for it and get, a huge haul of points for Alfa Romeo. Eruption.
Yeah, Actualized looking good.
Though.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yep.
Actually,
I think that's the right call.
Yeah, I think so. But Eruption's now 2 seconds back off of Thermo. Thermo makes a move on Big Mama Frank, puts a car between him and Bronson, and Freddie Rizal is also just retired from the session. Is that a safety car? That is a safety car. That's pretty big for Wild Fury, Bronson, and Big Mama Frank, and Actualized.
It's huge, right? Because now guys that were seemingly lost, right? Buzzgod had a huge gap behind Prison Mike. That was a 15-second gap, right? So now Buzzgod, again, on a perfectly viable strategy, it closes up, right? Sid now gets close to... Oh!
That is brutal. That is absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Yeah, and he's in a tough position, right? With the alternate strat, this was the danger. An early safety car. You can't go in and pit for softs. The hards are trash. You have to stay out.
And those towards the back can put on new mediums with ease.
For free.
And new mediums even if they're just like a couple laps older, are so like brand new mediums compared to like 5 lap old mediums. The difference is still pretty remarkable.
Yeah.
And so I feel like right now you got to put on those new mediums, otherwise you're gonna be just overtooken at the safety car restart. But let's see what they do.
Overtooken.
Overtooken.
Yeah. I
And
like that.
what do they go to? Wild Fury. They go into the hards.
That's an interesting call, man. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, they know a hell of a lot more than I do, and their strategy. But maybe their setups are good for it, right? Maybe they kind of prepped for this and can run the hards. Because we've seen, shit, man, we've seen Sid do it
Oh
30,
yeah,
40 times. I feel like
absolutely.
he'll just put the hards on and outpace everybody. So, not counting anybody out yet.
Yeah, now Sid is up into P5. I think, yeah, he's effective P3. Yeah.
So we are joined in the booth by Freddie Rizal.
Ooh.
Raz, what happened, man? You and Cal were set up for points. You just had to finish.
That's what I said to Cal, but obviously this game just doesn't like me, you know? I mean, switching to Will, gonna be hard. But yeah, I mean, I just crashed. I mean, I hit the wall and I couldn't control my car, so I span and I nearly hit Will in the Williams. But yeah, really upset and really frustrated about it. But I'm rooting for my boy Cal to do well tonight. So yeah, hopefully nothing happens.
He's in a great spot right now. He had a great qualifying. Pulling for the Alpine team.
Yeah, I mean, obviously me and Cal ain't really been doing too great in D2, but I mean, I didn't pick him for no reason. I mean, yeah, he's had like some issues and that, some couple races and that, but I think this is like D2. This is where he belongs in that. Probably, I think maybe this season he can probably stay in D2, and then next season he's like one of those guys that can fight for podium. So I think for Alpine, I think we should, or for me anyway, see where I go. I'll try and help the team.
I think he could fight for podiums. He qualified P3
can.
here, right? He's keeping up with Sid and Eruption and Big Mama Frank and Thermo. I mean, he's there in the mix, and anything can happen here at this track. So tough luck, Freddie. But I think Cal can score some points for you.
Yeah, hopefully. Alright. See you later.
Have a great night,
See you, Freddie.
Oh, don't say that. I'm going to bed.
Well,
So this should be the last lap of the safety car.
everyone will be catching up. And so something we saw in the D4 race was Zach Smack gave P1 on like multiple safety car restarts, gave him like a second gap off rip. And I have zero idea if he just got caught slipping or what, but I'm interested to see if Big Mama Frank can pull off a correct safety car restart against the first driver. So I'm keeping my eye out for that, because I think the safety car restart could be huge, a huge teller for the rest of the outcome of the race.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely could be. They're all getting bunched up. It's kind of weird seeing guys like Johannes and Buzzgod here in P14, P15. So, as Guac gets a 5-sec himself for ignoring a yellow flag. So I don't know if he made maybe like an illegal pass or it wasn't like Delta, right? Because it would have said speeding under safety car.
I think Joel had some sort of slip up because Joel was in like P7. He's down in P10 now. I saw Guac and Joel swapped, and I think it just bugged, so I don't think that one will stick. But that is weird.
Safety car in this lap. Thermo really warming up his tires.
Can Eruption get the jump on Big Mama Frank as well? And there's a lot of little mind games going on, and you gotta nail the safety car restart if you're Eruption, I think.
It'll be tough for Axel Eyes to keep pace. He's got a little bit older tires, so I'm looking for Sid and Cal maybe to pass him.
Thermo got a much better start. He's gonna stay in P1. Couple of changes. Johannes gets Prison Mike, or Prison Mike goes on the inside. Johannes, he's boxed into by the McLarens right now. Gets a little bit better exit out of turn 1. And they still go side by side through turn 2, but Johannes is the victor.
Make it stick.
So Prison Mike went from P13 to P15 as he's been overtaken by his teammate as well. And he's side by side with Mr. Zebra Strike himself. And he's Mr. Sandunga's looking at him right now. He's on the inside as well. And Sandunga's hit him just a little bit. Now Sandunga's behind Will Graham. Or will be behind Will Graham. So
yeah, Prison Mike lost a couple of spots there, right? I don't know if he's used to competing with Johannes and Buzzgod down that far down the order. But Eruption did overtake Big Mama Frank and has already built up a 2-second gap.
And is that Guac? Yeah, Guac. And I think that's Davies. Davies spun out of the castle section, and Guac, nowhere to go, just runs into him, and that may have ruined Guac's race. I can't tell if he has damage or not, but that is brutal.
No damage for either party, but a tough spin for Davies. Guac kind of got lucky there to find himself still in P15. I'm curious to see if that'll be reviewed after the race. Not sure what happened there.
Yeah, super, super bizarre. An Eruption on the tail of Thermo. He's using that slipstream, but he's backing off. He's going to get him on the next straight, I assume? Or he's just buying his time, saving fuel?
Axel is going in, presumably to serve his drive-through penalty. We'll see if that is indeed what he's doing, but he'll find himself towards the ass end of the order there, with still another pit stop to go.
Yeah, but we do have quite a bit of racing left. We're 12 laps in of a 26-lap race. Seen one safety car so far. We'll definitely have a good chance at seeing another one as Johannes overtakes Spanini. They have a little bit of contact, and Spanini gets rear-ended by Zebra Strike right there. Zebra Strike has been hitting everyone so far this race. I don't even think it's necessarily his fault. Just cars kind of running into him, and now Guac is right next to Zebra Strike again. Guac sees that other Ferrari outside. There's a couple cars in front of him, and he might be getting a little nervous. Guac looking up the inside of Zebra Strike, going to the turn before the castle section. He gets it.
Wow. Good clean move. Late braking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And took advantage. I don't know if you saw, Zebra hit his left rear tire on the wall. Just tapped it a little bit. Guac got so much of a better exit coming into that turn that really allowed him to make that move.
And Guac now behind another Ferrari. Spanini, Bronson Stafford is on those hard, so they're not very good, even though Spanini's on 7-lap-old mediums. He's definitely outpacing Bronson right now, and Bronson's holding the rest of the pack up.
Wild Fury is holding off Joel. He's on the hards. Joel is on the mediums. Joel should have DRS here. Oh, that'll be on the next lap. So I'm curious to see how his pace in P6, Wild Furies, keeps up.
And
looks like... Did he just let him through?
I don't know.
It looks like a pretty generous move there. But I guess he knows who he's racing.
And Guac gets past Spanini as well. He's looking at Bronson Stafford. Can Guac get a position in back-to-back corners? He can so far with that DRS.
Great racing from Guac. The crispy-looking overtakes the past couple laps. Really nice.
Just a great pickup for Flosi in the Haas.
Yeah, their D2 guys look great. Really good so far today. A lot of pace. Wild Fury trying to make those hards work, although I think holding off Johannes to be a little bit more, no disrespect to Joel Guran, I think he's a fantastic driver, but Johannes has just been on another level the past few weeks.
Eruption still hasn't gotten his overtake on Thermo yet. I guess just biding his time, waiting for last couple laps. Be side by side again. He's gonna have the DRS. He's finally gonna go for it this time. Thermo still has, an ERS advantage on him. He's gonna have DRS in this next straight. Will he just overtake him right back? And he does it. He's gonna be out of the race. Huge crash from Thermo. No safety car, but he's now in P5. He's gonna lose tons of positions here, as he's gonna have to go for a front wing. He's gonna be super slow on this lap. He's gonna have a super slow pit stop, and he's gonna be behind a lot of traffic.
Wow.
So these guys behind him, behind Thermo, Johannes, Wild Fury, Joel, Guac, everyone behind him has got to be ready. They're going to catch up to him. They got to be wary. He has, he's broken. He's not going to be able to race. You can't do weird moves on him because it might end your race as well.
I'm trying to look at my info here, and I don't see damage, but I think that's probably an error on my side.
And Will is
said that was a
retired
pretty
from
nasty
this
crash.
Yeah, I don't think he has no nose at all. At least I'm fairly certain the way that hit was. Apparently, he has nose, but it looked that was one of the nastiest hits I've ever seen. He has a little bit of nose,
slow.
but he is slow. He's a danger right now, and Joel's gonna get past him. Joel should get past him pretty easily here. Yeah. I'm surprised he has any front wing at all. That's why I'm not a big fan of the reduced action going on, but it is what it is.
Block passes him handily as he'll try to make up that gap to Joel Goron, man. I can't. Haas is currently running in 6 and 8. They look fantastic. Bronson up in P9, trying to make those hards work.
Yeah, Bronson is in a great spot right now. He's making the hards work so far. So is Wild Fury. Wild Fury up into P6, so... Cal overtakes Big Mama Frank. And Sid... I think Big Mama Frank lets Sid by so he can chase Cal, hopefully get past him.
Yeah, Sid's on the fresher tires. I'm wondering if Sid is going to maybe try to get to the end, although 9 laps on mediums is tough. Big Mama Frank started on the alternate, so he knew he was going to have to pit anyway. Might as well let Sid through.
And hopefully Sid can just pull him along with that DRS and put a little bit of a gap. That way, Frank may have, a position or two on someone he may not have that position on. And Guac and Joel are battling it out of the castle section. I think Guac just got the edge on him. Now
He's got 1 lap fresher tires, so they're pretty much equal there. And he'll try to catch up to his teammate.
Scrapes the wall just a little bit, not enough to do any real damage. And BuzzGod right behind Spanini. I mean, Joel has a horde of followers right now. Bronson, Spanini, Prison Mike, Sandunga, all right behind each other. It's a giant DRS strain. This is humongous. We're going to see what comes out of it. Spanini doesn't have enough ERS, doesn't have the setup, so BuzzGod's going to get past him.
That was a pure ERS pass. He takes the inside, but it looks like Spanini maybe is trying to make a fight on the outside. He's not going to be able to. BuzzGod has a better line going into turn 2. Can Spanini make the pass? Oh, BuzzGod almost loses the rear end, and he'll lose a couple places.
Yeah, he's going to lose out to Sandunga as well. So he went from fine for, or maybe getting P10 to going down to P13, and he makes a move on Sandunga.
Dive-bombed.
Oh, he's struggling for grip out there, and he's down into P13.
That almost looked like a move out of frustration, and I'm glad that BuzzGod and Sandunga had the skill to keep that clean, but that was a dive bomb, and I'm not sure if that move was really grounded in any sort of reality.
Yeah, I don't think it was. Definitely a move out of frustration. you're
Oh, his
looking.
Prison Mike goes around. Oh, he saved it.
That is crazy.
I was on with BuzzGod, and I don't know if you saw that, but Prison Mike was almost perpendicular to the track, and he just smoothly saved it and kept P11.
So that had to be like some weird wheel plus throttle brake trick all in one, and it worked out. So
That was a sick move.
Mr. Tandunga's looking at him. Is he gonna? He's gonna be able to have it definitely if he gets a good exit here down the straightaway. But BuzzGod's gonna be right behind him as well. And Cal and Sid are fighting. Sid gets past Cal, but Cal has a much better turn 1, and now they're side by side going into turn 2. Sid will have the DRS again. He's gonna fall right behind him. Try to get the DRS within this next one, but does Cal have the better exit? He does not. I mean, he may have had a similar exit, but Sid has the DRS, and that's just too powerful. So Sid's going to get ahead of him once again, this time hoping to make it stick, and he does a much better turn than the turn 1 he had earlier, and now Sid is in P2.
Walk has just passed his teammate Wild Fury for P6. He's got 10 lap old mediums, so he'd be trying to make that go 19 laps. I guess he could, but he's certainly making the most of the tires while he's got them. And what a showing from Haas so far.
Absolutely. You know, P6, P7, they don't have to pit again. That is insane. And it's crazy to think, you know, at the beginning, start of the race, it looked like it was going to be a Williams kind of surprise showing. You know, Zebra was up into P5, but Haas have just taken over and shown they're the better team right now.
They have. His support thermo is now down in P15. He's on fresh mediums. So, and I don't think he has to pit again. So yeah, he started on the softs.
Yeah.
So he'll go to the end. So I'm curious to see how much ground he can take back in 9 laps. Because it
And
could be a
now,
lot.
Johannes has made it back up to podium positions. He's just overtaking Cal. Is Cal going to have to... Does Cal have any damage? No. Yes, he does. He's diving into the pits. And Frank also diving into the pits, but he just hasn't pit yet. But Cal, after a phenomenal race, still a great race so far, going to come out in an unfavorable position.
Yeah, so you know if that was damage or was that just part of his strategy?
I would assume it's damage. You know, he's on similar tires
no, I
and
think
people
you're right.
still out. Unless he's thinking he can fly through like 30 seconds. As Guac
Right.
and Wild Fury, they trade places once again. Guac leading again, so I guess they're just, you know, going back and forth in this DRS, passing it to each other, building that gap to Bronson.
Yep, I hope they're trading DRS and working together here because they both look great so far, and I'd love to see them stay up top. So it definitely did look like Caladan because he did change his front wing. Big Mama Frank is the first, or yeah, I believe he's the first in the alternate strat pit for softs. Everyone else kind of got shuffled up with the safety car. So he's the only one that's been running his strategy as is. So he has fresh softs in P13, and looking to be, he should be in line for at least a top 10.
Yeah, we'll see where he ends up, but his main rival, his main comparison, both of them, Wild Fury and Bronson, are P5 and 6 right now, and they pit onto the hard, so even if it's the unfavorable tire, it just may have been the better call to pit right then and there.
Yeah, it could have been.
But he's gained half a second in just a couple turns so far, so he's definitely still on for a great finish here with 8 laps remaining. An eruption had to have had a moment as Sid is now in P1.
Our reigning champion.
Yep, our reigning champion leads the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. But Johannes is crawling back, and Spanini goes into the pits. And so, I mean, this is it's kind of funny. We saw a bunch of different guys at the start. We saw Thermo, Zebra Strike was up there for a little bit. And now it seems inevitable. This Sid Johannes nonsense is returning.
Yeah, there it is. Meanwhile, Thermo keeps churning out fastest lap after fastest lap. Just bangers over there down at P14 on his fresh tires. But I don't know if he'll be able to fight towards the front. I don't know if there's enough time for him to get back towards the front.
I don't know. Johannes now 3/10 behind Eruption. Eruption 2 seconds off of Sid now, so he has to have some sort of damage. He just lost too much ground.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it on my end, but I think that my feed might be off a little bit. And Johannes has closed that gap really nicely too. So, yeah, Eruption is losing a lot of it. We'll see if he looks to dive into the pits here. Johannes passes him quite handily. And he's staying out.
Johannes P2, Sid P1. I feel like we've seen this before. Just don't know where. Is he doing
I
that
think,
Davies fighting?
I was gonna say, I think Johannes got the hang of his pedals. Last time we were seeing these two go at it, I think that was what was holding him back. But I don't think anything is holding him back anymore.
Cal and Thermo are fighting right now. Two guys that were at the front of the grid. Now, further down the order near the back. Cal has the DRS. He's definitely got this straight down on lock, but Thermo's trying to get close to him throughout the lap, and then down this straightaway, the final straightaway. He'll have DRS again. And that's really what this track is, just trading DRS back and forth for 23 laps.
Yeah, speaking of closing gaps, Big Mama Frank is right on the rear end of Davies, and he's got much better tire strategy going on right now. He should be able to pass both of these guys pretty handily and try to make a run towards Prison Mike and Buzzgun in the next few laps. There's a safety car. There's another incident. Thermo's DNF'd.
Wow. Let's on board with actually see if we can see him. He might be a little bit too far back.
I don't know if Axelize had a little bit of a moment there, but we were on with him trying to see if we can catch a glimpse of Thermo's car. So I guess he lost it in Castle?
I mean, he had to have, yeah. Just on the exit.
There it is. Oh, crumpled.
Weird. Yep. Absolutely
Yep.
gone. And everyone's pitting for fresh softs here to the end. And Big Mama Frank, a huge winner so far. Those softs are going to be absolutely rapid. So Nunez stays out. And I don't know. That was a tough call, I think. That's a tough call.
Yeah, I don't know. An 11 lap old mediums, I mean, he's just, yep, it's a tough call. But I kind of like how we're going to get, the entire midfield is going to be all on fresh softs. And we're going to see like a proper skill-based shootout here.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I think it's going to be great.
Yeah. That's insane. Only 2 people aren't on the fresh softs, really. That's crazy.
Axelize goes in again. I wonder if he had damage or is he going in for fresher softs? They were only a lap old. So I'm curious what this... He might have damage.
He has to have. There's no reason to go in.
No.
I'll be damned.
No. Well, there you go. Well, what do you know about that?
They got whoever's the engineer at Alfa Romeo right now is...
Easy with that now, man. Easy with that. We're busy.
Hey, so is the AlphaTauri boys.
Yep.
Our normal D2 engineer is out of town, so they're riding solo.
They're doing pretty well.
So far, so good. It's probably better that I'm not there. I wouldn't have been able to make that call for Sandhug. I had no idea what the better one would be. I think staying out is great. It's a high risk, high reward. I think everyone's going to be so much faster than you, though. You've got to just hold in that DRS line and stick in it.
Yeah, a couple times this season I've been engineering for the D3 guys, and we've had some similar calls to make with Cushy. And, I mean, I believe there were 2 instances that I remember where we made the call to stay out. And, I mean, he was absolutely a minister of defense, right?
Yes.
But
yes,
I feel like, I do feel like, though, in both cases, I made the wrong call. And I think I should have told him to go in. And because he has so much raw pace that I think he could have kept up or even gained positions with soft tires. But he defended well in both cases and was able to keep some pretty good track position.
No, the call in Kodo was 1,000,000% the right call, and you need to stop doubting that one. That one is that was perfect.
So one more lap here probably until Axelas can catch up to the back of the pack.
So but we did see. I mean, he will catch up. But I was curious to see. In D4 we saw the safety car come in, and there were 3 different groups. It was like 7 people in the front, 6-ish people in the middle, about like 5-10 seconds back from that main group, and then another, the final group that was like 15 seconds back. And the safety car just came in anyway, even though no one had caught it. It was weird. So I was curious to see if Axelize was just going to kind of get screwed out of that, but I'm glad he didn't.
Yeah, he's made it to the back of the pack. I'm looking at the leaderboard now, and the safety car. At first I thought it was great for the Haas's because they can change out that hard tires for Wild Fury, and then Guac can get on freshes as well. But they now find themselves P9 and P13, and all that advantage that they had in track position is now gone.
Yeah,
so it kind of was tough for them. I don't think it actually turned out to be advantageous.
And I mean, at least with Guac, we saw him cutting through the field earlier, so he's looking to do that again. But Wild Fury mainly got his positions through the pit stop, through that first safety car, and so he's gonna have to do something he hasn't done already. Guac knows he's done it before. He's gonna try to do it again, but it might be a little bit more difficult for Wild Fury, especially as everyone's on the exact same tire. It's gonna be a shootout to the end, and I'm interested to see this restart by Sid. What's gonna happen?
I'm on with Cal, who's on medium tires. They're only 3 laps old, but he's going to have freshies behind him, and we'll see if he really has enough grip to make a move on Big Mama Frank. I don't know. And I'm worried about Sandunga too, OG. I am.
Yeah. But it'll be... We only got a couple laps remaining. It'll be 4 laps remaining. Should be fine. This is a tight pack. You got to make sure you don't have any wheel spin coming out of this. Otherwise, you are screwed. A sitting duck is there's like 20 people waiting behind you, ready to pounce at your mistake.
I can't wait for this Sid Johannes restart, man. I can't wait.
And Sid's off. Johannes right behind him, though, and Eruption got a pretty good start as well. Big Mama Frank jumps Sandunga, and Cal is looking for it on Sandunga. He hits the wall, and Sandunga might be able to get that position right back, does he? But he's on the inside. Sandunga, so far so good, but he's got so many people on way better tires right behind him.
And there's another yellow in Sector 1. May have been an incident in Turn 2. I'm trying to see, is Prism Mike involved maybe? Yeah, he's ghosted in Turn 2. Something happened.
It's Vanini gets into the front of Sandunga. Bronson looking to do it as well, but can he? And yeah, Sandunga's just on way worse tires. Everyone can just carve their way through it. They have the grip. He doesn't. So he's now gone from 4 to 8 just on tire diff.
Yeah. Yeah, tough call. Really tough call to make. Buzzgod just passes him now for P8, and he's got all these fresh tire guys behind him.
Now he's P10.
Unfortunate. Yeah.
Now he's struggling with Davies right now. I think he's struggling with grip. Maybe a little bit of an incident as well. But in the front, Sid almost pulled a second gap. Only 8/10. Eruption right behind Johannes, though. So, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be crazy, this finish. And Big Mama Frank up into P4. That's just phenomenal.
There it is. We were talking about it. We were talking about the recovery race for BMF, and here it is. And I mean, and realistically, right? If Sid was on his game like he is today with Johannes on Eruption, the best finish possible for BMF was realistically 4th.
Oh,
and he
wow.
finds himself there now as a cow with a dive bomb.
He did a little switch maneuver right there. He looked like he was going to go on the outside, went on the inside, And he's got the move on Frank. Spanini right behind him now.
You got a good exit there too, Cal did, even on those medium tires. Zebra's around in Sector 1. He's ghosted. He might have some damage.
And Buzzcott
Man, these
and
battles
Glock
at the
fighting
front.
for it. There's battles everywhere. It's so intense right now.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm surprised that Cal is holding off BMF as well as he is. I thought, you know, maybe Big Mom Frank cooked his tires a little bit and the mediums are better already. I'm not sure, but Cal's doing great.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing phenomenal. He's had a great race so far. He had that mishap, but he's up into P4 again, and it's like the race balanced itself out. But oh my goodness, Eruption is just glued to the back of Johannes right now.
He is glued, and I'm on with him right now. And every time I see that gearbox get bigger and bigger, I think that how can he possibly break any later than he is now? And just amazing skill and racecraft from Eruption on the controller.
Yeah, on the controller, fighting two of the faster drivers in the league who are on the wheel. He just doesn't have the oomph. I think these guys are running pretty similar wing right now, and so it's hard to get any closer on the straight without the help of DRS.
DRS enabled. Is it just in time for Johannes or a little bit too late? There's that set gap. I don't think he got it. I don't think Johannes has DRS. Eruption does, but is way down in the ERS battle.
Yeah, he's way down in the ERS. He didn't have a good exit out of that turn right there. He's going for it, though.
Oh!
I have no idea if there's damage. They're side by side going into that turn as well. He just forces Johannes to back out right there. And he does. You know, it's better to end in third place than to end in no place, but, you know, he's definitely not happy about that.
Yeah. What he did, though, too, that was aggressive, and that was some good fighting there. But what he's done is he's cemented the fact that Sid's going to pull away.
Absolutely. Yeah, Sid's 3 seconds. Eruption, you know, parking the bus right now. There's just nothing he can do about it. Big Mama Frank. Spanini! Spanini was in a phenomenal position in the Ferrari car. He spins out or hits the wall. He playing ping pong. Whatever that other... I don't know what the little mini game is where you shoot it up. He was in like 5th or 6th or whatever it was, and now he's down at the 10th.
Pinball? Did he pinball down the order? Is that what you're talking about?
Pinball,
yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Johannes also had a moment as now he's down into P5.
At Cal, currently in P3, those 6-lap old mediums doing wonders for him. Is Alpine set to get a podium today?
They both have Eruption, or not Eruption, Cal and Big Mama Frank both have no ERS. Big Mama Frank's going to need to get a perfect exit out of both these corners, and he's going to have DRS. He doesn't get the exit he needed out of turn 1. Cal definitely had the advantage right there. Does he get it out of turn 2?
Man.
Maybe, potentially. Cal had a better pull away, but Big Mama Frank is going to have the better top end speed. He's just going to, he's not going to have it here. He's going to need a phenomenal exit down the start finish straightaway.
He's got to farm as much ERS as he can here in this last lap to try to use DRS and all the battery he can. Cal has 16%. BMF has 16% himself, so they're both going to be flooding it.
He's building up, but he can't lose too much ERS and, you know, be 8 tenths back of Cal.
Exactly.
Otherwise, he's going to be, even if he has DRS, he won't be enough time to make up. So he needs a little bit of a slip up from Cal, and he needs to nail the rest of these corners to perfection if he wants this podium.
I'm torn here because I love BMF and it'd be cool to see him, but Cal in P3 I think would be just great for Alpine and great for the league.
Yeah, I think it's a much needed P3 for Alpine. But and Big Mama Frank has a little bit of wheel spin, and he's now 9 tenths back. He needs to nail this,
no.
and I don't think it's enough.
I don't either. I think, let's see, it looks like he got a better exit. He's already gaining time. Nope, that went away now.
Yep, it's over.
Now he's using the ERS. Might not be enough
Sid
runway.
Is gonna cross the line, the race victor, followed by Eruption. Big Mama Frank is gonna finish P4, and Cal is gonna finish on the podium. Both the Mercedes finish 5, 6, Johannes 5, Bronson 6. So we saw both guys started P19, P20, finishing the top six. Big Mom Frank Bronson, great recovery drive. Buzzgod P7. The Haas of Guac and Wild Fury P8 and P10.
Good
Davies
showing.
P9, absolutely phenomenal showing from the Haas. Davies Ferrari P9. Sandunga fourth on the safety car restart, but 12th at the finish line. Those old tires just were not it. Joel Guron 11th. Spanini at one point was up into 6th. Finishes 13th. Prison Mike, not the Ferrari, the McLaren did not have the day they wanted. They're in 7th and 14th. Actualized the Alfa Romeo lone finisher in 15th, as well as the Williams in 16th. And Actualized jumps Wild Fury from a 5-second time penalty, I believe, that I don't know will stand.
They just said that was a 20-second penalty for ignoring yellow flag. That seems a little bit fishy. I wonder if that'll get investigated,
Yeah,
because
that
I'm
is
not sure
bizarre.
that seems right. But hey, kudos to the Haas after that inopportune safety car. They made the best out of it, and P8, P10 is great. In fact, I would almost be disappointed with P8 and P10 because they had such
Yeah,
pace.
they
So
were at P6 and
great showing from
P7,
them.
absolutely.
But heartbreak for Mr. Sanduga, man. That is just that's tough.
Yeah, it is tough, but AlphaTauri still on the podium. Sid number 1, and Cal for the first time this season is on the podium. Let's get these guys in for a couple of interviews. And Sindunga finishes P11, but again, that's with Wild Furies. Giant penalty. So we'll get these boys in. And Cal's in the waiting room. Go ahead and pull him in.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cal,
Hello.
I mean, what a great finish. You had a great qualifying, a little bit of a slip up there, but you finished on the podium position for the first time this season after, kind of a rough season for Alpine so far. What does this podium, this P3 mean for you?
I mean, we've kind of like always known that we can do it. It's just more or less the confidence thing and consistency thing. So, I mean, it just proves that I can do it if I can stop crashing as much. Which I even had a crash that race, as you saw. But happy with that for sure.
Yeah. Cal, you had great pace the entire time. Did you feel with Freddie kind of crashing out, it's kind of become a trend? When you qualified on P3, did you feel a little bit more pressure because you had such a good opportunity to get points, a little bit more pressure to get it done?
Yeah. I mean, I was a little nervous, but honestly, I'm more nervous starting in like P10 with more cars in front of me than
Yeah.
with just 2. It's a lot easier to keep track of 2 cars than 9. In my opinion, so I think it's about the same level of like nervousness, but almost maybe a little bit more comfortable because you don't
Yeah.
have to worry as much about incident or something of the sort.
So you said, just the Alpine has struggled a little bit with confidence throughout the season. So will this, is this podium something you can carry into you for the rest of the season, and maybe string a couple more together in Canada and Silverstone?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I believe that podium's going to be like the hopefully the standard for us here soon.
There we go. Well, great race, great quality. I mean, great overall weekend, and absolutely looking forward to seeing what you can do next week and the final week after that. So we appreciate it, and we'll see you later.
Yep, thanks.
Nice job, Cal. See ya.
See ya.
All right, and now the Austrian superstar is too tired, he says. And so we're going to pull in the Indian superstar, Sid. And he is here, Sid.
Hi guys, long time no see.
I know it's
There
been
he
a
is.
rough
He's
couple
back.
weeks. Rough couple weeks, but you finally, you finally get that win again. And it wasn't looking likely, but Sid is inevitable. Walk us through that race, walk us through the win.
I'm gonna be honest, I did not feel on top today. I was probably slower than 3 or 4 other drivers on the grid, but somehow it just worked out. I know there was some interesting strategy involved, and that's gonna be controversial, but it is what it is.
Yeah, Sid, man. I was last lap. I was kind of watching the battle between you and Johannes, and just kind of reminded me of last year. I know Johannes has kind of been on another level recently, right? Do you think how has it been competing with him since he's improved?
Uh, I was talking to my teammate before the safety car went in, and I was telling him that I'm doing everything I can, but I just can't outpace him. So I just feel like I'm competing with someone on another level.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I had someone to help me out today, and he did he did really well in that. It was not pre-planned or anything, but he did what he could to help his academy.
Yeah,
Yes.
went great.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of chaos going on in general right now.
yeah, very controversial, I can bet.
But yeah, once again, this is about you. You didn't accomplish the goal that you set out for yourself with the 100% podium, but I mean that is an insane goal to set. Uh, are you looking to get back on track with that and finish the rest of the season out all podiums?
Hopefully, the next two tracks should be strong for me. But seeing how fast everyone else is getting, and I'm not exactly improving. I don't feel like I am, but it should be decent. I might have a nice championship lead after this race. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, let's check. We can do the math real quick. Oh, I say that I'm not the greatest mathematician. You got 35. Yeah, you're definitely leading the race right or leading the championship. And so it feels like we're in a similar spot to what we were last season. You and Johannes gonna be neck and neck going into the final couple of races, and it's gonna be an exciting finish once again. And obviously, I'm rooting for you to finish out on top, but whatever happens, happens, and we'll see. You know how it turns out the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, what happened has happened, but I would still like to apologize to Johannes because that just not that was not something that I would like to experience. If I was in his position, I would be really upset. So I understand what he must be feeling right now.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but you got the win. And it's just a weird little thing. Buffalo, you got anything to add?
I know, man. Sid, I totally agree with you. I think everyone else in this league is getting too fast, too quickly. I need them to slow down so I can catch up. But dude, it was really cool to. This just felt like an old school win for you, and it was really fun to watch.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, Sid, we'll talk to you next week. Great race.
Yep.
See you later.
See you guys.
And that was that. That was a pretty exciting race. We saw a lot of controversy there at the end. A lot of great racing throughout the entire thing, from everyone, the midfield, the top, the back. It was pretty great. And I mean, you said Buffalo coming in that you love to watch some Baku, and I just gotta ask, did it live up to your expectations?
It absolutely did, man. We had a safety car. We had a jumble of strategies, man. We had controversy with DRS at the end, and I thought it was great. We saw the order shuffled up just countless number of times. It was great.
Yeah, it was absolutely phenomenal. We will see y'all next week in Canada. It's the exact same time. Da 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 da. You know the drill. Like and subscribe. We will see you later.